I have been dreaming about entering competition drift since I basically found out what competition drift was. I started getting to drift in the early 2000s, and it's sort of when it started to become a bit bigger here. I was at as many events as I could get to, and I didn't let having a stock Corolla stop me from getting out on the track, which was actually the car that I have now. So it feels pretty crazy that I've had that for such a long time and have finally gotten it to the level that it's at now to be able to enter. The only drawback with that is I have not quite developed the skills to enter a competition. I've seen so many drivers in South Australia start this competition and come out a completely different driver. And honestly, that was my goal. That's definitely what I got, and boy was that a journey. So I thought I'd take you along with my journey, a recap of the year. I've been meaning to make YouTube videos of every single event. I have filmed all of this. I've not edited much of this. I put it out onto Facebook that I was looking for assistance, whether it be advice or financial, to get me on the track to help me achieve my dream. I went into that with the expectation of that being a two-way street, so more of a partnership than a sponsorship. However, I got so lucky this year. I had someone from our amazing community come to me and say, hey, you asked, I'm here. And my God, I could not have got through this year without him or without Zane, obviously. For the past few years, I have had issues with my steering in my car, and that has been something we've been chasing for years. Every event that I was at, I was relearning what my car felt like. No matter how much seat time I was getting, I wasn't getting a consistent level of seat time. So while I was learning a lot of side quest things, I wasn't getting consistency, which is very reflective in my driving. So going into round one, I thought the best thing I could do was take it to Scott's Tyres to get a wheel alignment. Kane had a look at my car, he saw my knuckles, and they had not been made symmetrically. That was the source of my problems, but this was the week before round one. So I now knew something was wrong with my car that I wasn't able to fix, and that I'd have to go into the beginning of this season with, So I arrive at the track for round one, knowing my car's not going to feel right. The alignment that it has made it feel very, very different as well. Then something broke. That was incredibly hectic. Amazing friends came and helped me try and fix the car as quickly as possible to get it back onto the track so that I could potentially have a little bit of practice to not only figure out the layout, but figure out what my car was going to feel like. The results were not amazing. Let's have a look at round one.
Here we go, it's going to be Brody Black in the lead, being chased down by Bonnie Thomas, part of the Glitter Gang as well, Danny. So we come into the Quad King. Nice smooth line there from Brody in the lead. Oh, a bit of a straight there from Bonnie. Brody absolutely cheesing up the hill. Big engine, little car, little tyres. He absolutely loves it right there. Bonnie doing a great job, still keeping the sideways, trying to close that gap up. An absolute little weapon of Brody Black in the lead. Both drivers getting through the lap there. Great job from Bonnie in the chase too, Danny. Had that little bit of a hiccup at the start, but she got herself back and composed and just finished off the lap. No other mistakes. Great job.
I was honestly just trying to keep it on the track, which I succeeded.
Nice run, to be honest.
Car looked
You can
good.
see the drivers here coming in, down now. Jump out on the wall, give them a high five as they come past. That's what these drivers are out here. They're out here to put on a show for you. But here it goes. Bonnie Thomas now. Oh, Cooksey in the initiation. Great job there from Brody Black to avoid contact. You're going to see these guys get going once again. Bonnie chucks the car back in, tries to reinitiate. Brody with the little bit more power there just puts his foot on the loud pedal. Fortunately there from Bonnie. Looks like she might be having a bit of an issue there. The car really looks like it's struggling.
That was so validating.
As she gets into this final section, looking a little bit tidier there, but Brody Black just keeping a little bit of a measure there as Bonnie gets through the rest of the course.
Looking back on all the footage, I can see how much I was weight transferring way too hard the opposite way, and it is something that I've been doing for a long time. So seeing how much I was doing that and the disgusting line that it was setting up for people, and obviously the spinning, although I was having a lot of issues, not really being sure where the car was going to go. It was kind of just throw it and see where it ended up, because it felt very, very snappy and I wasn't used to that. The other bonus of that was driving with someone I really, really trust, and I'm very grateful that Brody can read me.
A couple of cars lined up ready to go. It's going to be Rick Biglands and Bonnie Thomas. So Bonnie had one good run and one not so good run. So she wants to make sure she does her best to have two more good runs so she can drop the not good run and get herself into the top 16. That makes perfect sense. So so Bonnie already has a run that she wants to bin. So she wants to make sure she tries to have two solid runs here. And Rick, of course, as well, trying to go out and have a couple of good runs. Because I believe Rick had a spin in one of his first battles as well. You can see Rick here in the lead. Big clutch dump from the S13 in the lead. Bonnie Thomas now initiates into the Quad King, trying to keep up with Rick in the S13. Nice line there from Rick in the lead car. Good solid angle as he cuts the line a little bit. It's a little bit tighter than we'd like to see through that left-hand sweep, but Bonnie doing a great job to chase.
Whoa.
Gets a little bit crossed up there, tries to hold on to it. Rick finishing off the lap. Bonnie just needs to get it reinitiated, going once again. Finish off the lap. There you go, Bonnie.
I think that's where some experience will help. Just say, nah, I'm in a poly battle now. I don't worry about dropping a tyre and getting in trouble. Just got to keep the foot into it, keep drifting.
That was massive
the
for
tyre
me.
drop is a much smaller mistake than the straight that she had, because she lifted off, trying to do the right thing and say, no, we've been told we're not supposed to damage the edge of the track. Once you're in battles, just add it to the credit card of I'm going to go shovel the track.
After the event, when I watched this live stream, I heard Ben say that, and that was life-changing for me, because I didn't really realise you'd be deducted more for straightening than you would for dropping a tyre off the track. And that makes sense because I went into the competition without being in a competitive mindset, so I wasn't thinking about any of these strategies or how points are accrued or anything like that. So that bit of information helped me so much, and I definitely applied that to, I was going to say round 2, but it was all the other rounds.
Did you see our pro right there finishing off another lap? So I think it's from as little as $99 you can go jump into
A pro level drift car. Way cheaper than doing it yourself, trust me.
Oh, a lot cheaper. you know, $99 barely covers half the entry of a drift track these days.
$99 covers like a basket of food from the shops.
Damn price gouging, Ben.
So it looks like, unfortunately, there, Bonnie Thomas has bailed out from the lead there, had a bit of an issue. Rick Biglands now is going to be in the front in his chase run. We want to see Bonnie reinitiate, get going once again. Good job there from Rick, finishing off the lap, getting it done, and Bonnie getting back on the horse, going again.
The theory behind the strategy of what I did there was that I knew I was weight shifting too aggressively, so I was going to dial that back. But it turns out when you're in a battle, that's not the right time to change what you've been doing. Honestly, one of the most difficult parts of drifting is the mental game. Despite going into this knowing that my car wasn't right, having sufficient evidence that my car wasn't right, that the car was going to be handling differently to the last time that I drove it, none of this evidence helped how I felt inside. Driving back into the pits after that battle was, I can't even express how depressed I felt. I felt so humiliated and defeated and deflated and all the D words, and it was really awful. But that was also a really important lesson. Round 2. This was, oh my god, this was the best. All of the things that I learnt from the last time, applied all of this to this one. And I was lucky enough that Phil made me some P-knuckles. Zane and I took the car to X Park to test the knuckles out, test a bit of alignment stuff, see what I like. I think we dialed a bit of toe out of it, and the car felt amazing. The amount of agony that I've been over in that car every time I drive, all the self-doubt, all of that, well, like 80% of that, it dissolved. And Now my car was ready to be properly driven, and it was up to me to learn how to do that. So this time I actually did the practice, which is really, really, really helpful. And oh my god, I had the most fun ever. Finally having the car at a state where I could get to know it was completely day and night. I think honestly the prac just felt like a Matsuri for me. On top of the car, finally performing the way I wanted it to, Ricky Lee also entered. So that was awesome. We got to battle, which honestly, that was a dream for both of us. And we just had an amazing time. I don't remember what happened. Let's have a look.
We've got a Glitter Gang battle coming up now. We've got Bonnie Thomas in that Fearful Joy K70. She's going to be chased down by Ricky Lee in the 180SX.
Yeah, both these guys very familiar with each other. They've plenty of driving together at Glitter Gang events.
That's right. And look at Bonnie. Oh, it gets a little bit wide there. So Bonnie's now got the new knuckles in the front of the car. Used to have asymmetrical knuckles. And she's definitely come leaps and bounds now, like since having a little bit more of a predictable front end. She's doing a great job getting through right nice and wide. As you see Ricky just over-rotating there, has to get the car going once again. But a great job there from Bonnie in the lead. Just a bit of a dirt drop coming through that final part of the first corner.
Yeah, it's a bit of fine-tuning there through turn one, try and get that entry speed right, and yeah, dropping a couple of tyres on the outside, not what she wants, but I'm sure she'll get more comfortable as the day goes on.
But it was also good to see Bonnie have that little bit of mistake and then keep her foot in it and keep going, like, you know, not go, oh, freak out, oh no, and then, you know, kind of shut down. She kept her foot in, she kept going, finished off the lap, and the rest of the lap was really well done.
Yeah, Ben knows what I was doing in the car.
That's it, of course, out the rotor, big rotary guy. That's right. And here we go, we got Ricky Lee now in the lead, being chased down by Bonnie Thomas. Nice solid line so far from Ricky, looking a little bit more comfortable in the lead. Bonnie's a little bit further back, but she's going to try and close that gap as we come into the left-hander now. Good solid line at the moment from Ricky in the lead. Nice transition as well. You can see Bonnie going for the dive, just stuffs it up a little bit. Gonna get Bonnie, get it going again, kick that clutch, get going. Great job from Ricky in the lead, much better than a chase. Yeah, a little bit of a flub there from Bonnie, but like we just said before, you're allowed to have a mistake, just
That's it.
not two.
Yeah, unfortunate too, because Bonnie's line through that sort of midsection of the track there really pushed that car out wide, was absolutely spot on.
Yeah, I definitely got a bit overexcited.
Alright, so we're going from a couple of AUs to a couple of K70s. It's Brodie Black and Bonnie Thomas. So two different takes on presentation of the cars as well. But yeah, Brodie Black in the lead with that 1.5 JK70 being chased down by Bonnie Thomas in the SR powered Fearful Joy K70. Just over rotating a little bit there from Bonnie. And Brodie keeping the foot in, finishing off the lap. As he drops the tyre coming into the right-hander. And Bonnie now just doing her best to finish off the lap. Nice smooth line through that right-hander as well. So unfortunate there for the early mistake from Bonnie, because the rest of her lap's been pretty good, Danny. So here we go. We're going to have Bonnie Thomas now in the lead in the Fearful Joy K70. And she's going to be chased down by Brodie Black in the prior built K70. The town bike. Nice solid entry there from Bonnie, nice and high up on the wall, nice smooth open up, just over rotated slightly as Brodie drops the tyre in the dirt, just goes around the outside. Looks like Bonnie shut it down, so hopefully it's not a mechanical issue there, but looks like that car is no longer got any power under the bonnet. Oh, no, there she goes, she's going again. As Brodie finishes off the lap. Bonnie gets going once again. Killing the second half of the lap. It's just, yeah. Good entry, good second half of the lap. Just having that issue just at the end of turn one there. Just seems to be catching her out every time. But again, it's good to see Bonnie getting that confidence now, having, you know, both the knuckles doing the same thing.
Yeah, it always helps when your car's going the right way.
Yeah. There are a few things going on there. I was changing gears a lot, so I was entering in fourth, downshifting to third and then second, and I was misshifting quite a few times. On top of that, In the time between those battles, my parents were supposed to have arrived and they didn't. And I called Mum. She told me that Dad had had a heart attack and she was on her way back from the hospital. So that was what I found out before I went out for my battles with Brody. And I gotta tell you, I was in the most bizarre headspace I've ever been in. Dad was okay. He'd had a stent put in, so he was in hospital. There's nowhere better you can be in a medical emergency than in hospital, so I knew everything was okay and he was going to be okay. After everything my parents had been through, it meant so much that Mum was actually able to come. So I got to the end of the day and Zane and I had loaded everything up. Someone came over and told me I needed to go out on track. I just thought, okay, well, I did go in the dirt a bit. That makes sense. It's time for me to go clean up. Then they told me to get my car off the trailer. That was not what I was expecting at all. So, being Mother's Day, I grabbed Mum, put her in the car, we went out onto the track, and it was so surreal. For this competition, at some stage, it was my goal to get a best of the rest trophy. And I did think by the second round, I would have ended up with one of these. Oh my god. I still don't really know how to reconcile it in my brain. So on top of receiving this delightful trophy, Grant Anderson actually presented it to me, which was so freaking cool. And even more amazing than that, he filmed the whole thing.
The baby trophy! It's normal size.
But it felt so incredible to have Mum on the track with me for all of that, and I still can't believe it happened. I can retire. Probably should have. Round 3. About a week after round 2, I ended up having a lot worse symptoms with 3PD, which is a balance disorder that I've got. I'm still struggling with it now, and that took me out completely for round 3. I really had to push myself to do round 4, and in all honesty, I kept saying to myself, I'll just do the prac. If I get to the battles of round 4, then cool. So round 4 was on the Saturday and round 5 was on the Sunday. I didn't think that I was going to get through the full first day, let alone the second day. I was definitely not feeling up to it. I had a lot of things going on at the time, emotionally, with my health, and my dog Alex was starting to get really unwell at that stage too. So there was a lot on my mind. But I had set this goal to do this season, and I had so much support, and I just wanted to try my hardest. I don't know that in hindsight I shouldn't have done it, because I still learnt so much from the experience. Having said that, I don't remember most of it. I think the Saturday was okay, which is round 4, but yeah, let's have a look.
These guys know that if you mess up the entry or the first part of that run, to finish it anyway, because it's still going to be scored. So
That's right. So
the only way to get a 0 is essentially to do what Lockie just did.
yeah, but obviously it looks like it was a mechanical issue there for Lockie Pryor. But in the lead now, it's going to be Brody Black. He's driving a Landon Kennedy's what's left of a JZ70 Sora, sorry, JZZ Sora, Z20 Sora. And he's being chased down by Bonnie. So Brody goes around. Great avoiding action there from Bonnie. Now watch that. Bonnie's just reinitiated. She's going to finish that lap off so the judges can keep scoring her. Whereas Brody, of course, he's gone from, he wasn't a K70. Didn't quite get the reshell done in time. So he's borrowing Landon Kennedy's car. You'll see a lot of that car today. But yeah, Bonnie there went around him. Will still get scored. The judges will obviously note that she had to go around a spinning car, and they will score that accordingly.
So for the first battles, which I think we were one of the first battles for the day, Brody and I teamed up again. He didn't have his car, so he was trying to get used to Landon's car. This was another layout where I had issues with downshifting, and you can see the spot where I missed the gear because I straightened up a lot. And then I reinitiated and Brody returned the favour, which was amazing because it was such a good experience to have, to be able to read him, especially in another car, and know what was going on. He did an amazing avoid, and looking back at the in-car footage, It was really, really quick, but at the time it didn't feel like it. So that also makes me feel a bit more confident, because avoiding spins and knowing how to spin out are sort of underrated skills, and they're things that I want to learn a lot more. And the way you learn is by kind of doing them.
We just have a bit of a chat there on the front straight, Danny.
Yeah.
My parents made it.
Yeah, Kai, of course, you may recognise that car if you've come to previous rounds. He used to be a pro ride driver, taking people out for laps, and a great experience. He's decided he's going to give the comp a go now.
That's right. So he wanted to get his name on the list, of course, of our drivers this season, as Bonnie just a little bit of an understeer moment there coming into the infield section. A bit of a straighten once again. And who's that? It's Brody, that's right. I'm trying to remember who's driving whose car already, and we're in the second battle of the day. But Brody there in the chase, just keeping a measured distance after maybe just getting a little bit spooked by Bonnie at the start there, but she finishes off the lap, and so does Brody.
Missed the gear. So either a week or two before the event, Lucy announced that she would be doing the comp as well, and it was her first time, so we got to battle together.
That's like when an old person gets in their car and they get the pedals mixed up, and they drive off the Westfield. They drive off the Westfield Marion.
Alright, here we go. So we're going to have Bonnie now in the lead, getting chased down by Lucy. A couple of Glitter Gang members. Gang members. I'm in a gang.
Throw it up, GG.
Throw it up, GG. In the driver's seat coming into the quad check now. Good initiation there from Bonnie. Lucy trying to mimic that. Oh, as Bonnie just gets a little bit overcommitted, drops the tire on the inside, shoots off to the outside. Lucy now
Missed the gear.
just going to finish off the lap. Good to see Bonnie get back out on track. She needs to reinitiate, keep going, get jumped by those judges for the rest of her run. But Lucy gets the run done. Bonnie now just finishing it off. There, getting his feet back under him.
Yeah, that's it. So it's still early day, you know. People are going to start settling into this comp and start relaxing into their style. How's the fan?
I say, speaking of style, we've got the style point on.
Did you get that out of it off the Adelaide Metro bus?
Straight out of a 1947 Peterbilt, mate.
That is your aircon.
Yeah, aircon, got a fan and a window. Not a window. Alright, so Lucy's now going to be in the lead. Bonnie in the chase. They're coming down the hill now into the quad kick. Nice smooth initiation from Lucy, really flowing the car through the run. Bit of a dirt drop there from Bonnie. She tries to play a catch up. A little bit tight from Lucy coming through the hairpin now into the sweeper, but a great job filling the outside zone through that long right hander. Bonnie again doing a great line in the chase. Just needs to close that proximity a little bit. But again, good solid lead run there from Lucy, and Bonnie did a much better job in her chase than she did in the lead, so she can definitely be happy with that.
Round 5. How the hell did I get there? I was completely burnt out at that point. I think I woke up shaking. I struggled so much with this layout. I wasn't really in a good problem-solving headspace. I thought that I was misshifting again, because that's what I'd been doing the whole year. Except it turns out that I think I wasn't. I just didn't have my revs in the right spot. If I had been able to figure that out at the time, I think it would have gone pretty differently. I was there to learn, and that's definitely what I did. The prac leading up to this was... Fuck me, that's right. Oh my god. I wasn't in the condition to do this in the first place, to do the prac yesterday. We got 2 practice sessions in the morning, and I was really concerned about leading because I was messing up in a very awkward spot. When it came to the second prac, it started to rain a little bit. The track surface was completely different. I just didn't have the capacity to try and adjust to that. Zane really pushed me to be there and to keep going, and I don't normally back down from a challenge, but this was a lot. I am so grateful for Ricky Lee coming up and chatting with me and helping me feel capable enough to get back out on the track. I feel like I learned so many things between the last prac and our first battle, because Troy gave us both tips on what to do, and I feel like so much of my mindset towards driving changed that day, for some good reasons and for some bad reasons, but altogether, it was still a really big learning experience. I do have to say, I was really surprised by what happened.
We're talking about trumpets, and speaking of trumpets, got a couple of SRs coming up now. That's going to be Ricky Lee Lachinski in the lead, getting chased down by Bonnie Solomon in that Fearful Joy A71 with the SR at the bottom, so the SR71. But nice job there from Ricky, bit of a straight from Bonnie in that chase, but Ricky doing a great job so far, filling that outside zone. Nice and wide, touches the ripple strip. Just massaging that handbrake to get through the rest of the course. Good transition from Ricky as well. Bonnie as well, other than that slight mistake at the start. Nice and aggressive as well from Bonnie Thomas. Unfortunately, just gets a little bit caught up on that final transition. That was a nice, solid lead right there from Ricky Lee, Danny.
Absolutely, Ricky Lee, fantastic in the lead. Keeping that car out nice and wide, giving Bonnie every opportunity to get up close. So unfortunately, Bonnie with a bit of a straight there in the last part of the layout.
But I also like that Bonnie had a bit of a straight because she was trying to be aggressive rather than having a straight because she was not being aggressive. So it's great to see Bonnie getting more and more confidence, especially now that both of her knuckles face the right way. So she was just going, I don't know what's going on with driving. Turns out that she had two different knuckles in the car. Like two different...
Modified different...
Yeah.
Look, it's amazing what you can do with a car when the wheel space are right way.
That's right. It's amazing also, as I look across to see Danger Peace here, it's amazing what happens when your steering rack pushes work too. He's not paying attention, he's ignoring.
He's out.
Alright, so we got flipping around now. So of course the number's a little bit lower today. So normally we've been running battles in between battles, but we can run these battles back to back today because we've just got a little bit more leeway with the smaller amount of cars. So it makes it a lot easier for the judges to follow. It makes it easy for you guys to follow as well because you're just watching the same cars do all of their battle at once. As Bonnie chucks it in now, Ricky Lee Lachinski in the chase gets up on the side of Bonnie, who's straightened up again in front of her.
Cheers.
So we just see Bonnie get it nice and wide through there. Get a little bit more of a momentum now through the rest of the lap. Ricky Lee, very aggressive, trying to get right up to the side of that Fearful Joy Corolla there. And a great job from Ricky Lee. Absolutely smashed it in the chase there. And good job from Bonnie as well through the second half of that lap.
Yeah, super impressive driving by both of these girls.
And Jaden obviously won Malala, a track that was a lot more suited to his car. A track like this, he's got to work a lot harder in that Commodore with a bit more weight and a lot less grip than a lot of the other cars in the class. So he's really putting the work in. He's doing a great job.
Anyone that's ever drifted a Commodore will know that it's not an easy task.
It's not good. Alright, so we've got Sam Fowler now in the lead. Bonnie Thomas just doing a bit of off-grid 4x4 herself on the outside of turn 1. Good to see her get back onto the track and keep going. Fowler though, right out to the edge of the track as we're in this infield section into the hairpin there. Fowler's still doing a great lead run there, leaving it nice and open for Bonnie, and she's doing everything she can to catch up. It's good to see she's got the safety rail on the back of the Corolla now she's got that rear bar off. But that's the kind of attention to detail that Bonnie would make, is to make it crash structure yellow so it stands out if she loses the bumper. Great to see, I love it.
There's a high chance that would never have been seen by anyone else, but she still went through the effort of painting it.
It's all about the layers.
My tyres were starting to get a bit worn and I didn't realise quite how much until the next battle.
See what Bonnie can do. A little bit of open track in front of her. She can set the pace rather than trying to match Sam's pace, which is possibly why she just dropped the tyre on the outside there. And then looks like we've got Hardy out to do a solo run at the end for the last of our L2 qualifying battles. See what Bonnie's got for us now. She comes down through the base owner, down the hill, into the dip. Sam Fowler actually initiating slightly before Bonnie. And he wants to try and close that gap. As Bonnie's very wide there. Drops a tyre off the outside with a half spin. Sam Fowler pulls it up. Bonnie's going to take off and reinitiate. Sam's just going to do the same as well and try and get back onto the door. Bonnie, she's just gone thrown off the track once again. We've just got herself a little bit rattled there. She needs to just find that composure once again because she's been throwing down some great runs today. Maybe she just needs to go back to the pits, have a cup of tea, get centered, relax the nerves.
I did everything I could to try and keep that car on the track, and the wheels just... the car did not want to do that. I was finished. I still can't believe that I made it all the way to the end there. I'd end the video with what I learned this year. Cracks are important. That gives you time, if anything goes wrong with your car, to start fixing that. It gives you time to understand the layout. Stay committed in your battles. Just make sure your car is continuously in drift. Find out the judging criteria. That way you know exactly what they're looking for ahead of time so you can adapt to that. Keep your approach consistent. That helps if you have the practice so you can change your approach then. Find out what works best for you. Don't try something new in the middle of your battles or you will have more battles, but not more battles. You know what I mean. Most importantly, remember why you're there. That's something that you might need to keep reminding yourself throughout the year. I know some people would think it was a bit strange to enter a competition without the motivation of being competitive. What I wanted from this competition, I absolutely got. And my driving has leveled up so much over the year, and the experiences I had, I wouldn't have had without having put myself in this position. I would absolutely recommend to anyone, if you want to have a go and see what it's like in a competition, definitely enter. You don't have to commit yourself to a full year, and you can enter any time throughout the year. Personally, I am incredibly lucky and incredibly grateful for Zane for everything that he does for me. There's no way I could have even thought about committing to this year without him. I also had Zane's work pay for fuel for Zane's car while he towed me to all of these events, and there is no way I could have done this year without my sponsor, because without his help I wouldn't have been able to get the knuckles that I got. There's no way I would have been able to enter the series this year. Yeah, just wanted to know how much that really means to me, because there's no way I could have done this without the two of you. And I had one of my favourite people donate me a bunch of tyres as well, which I didn't get to use.
No matter how hard I try.
Find out which works best for you. Don't